Come on, set. 10-2, son. Hey, get in the weight room. Ready, go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Completing it here, Marvin Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Red.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run. And go.
They'll look to throw. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down. 3 down. Ready.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. To 90. Wolf. I got you. I got you. Ready, go.
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Watch the run. Watch the run. It's soft, baby. That's baby soft.
2nd and 9 now. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play.
Okay,
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
They'll set up a throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set. We're okay. We're okay. Black 15.
Double time. 4 down. Check.
Hey, Delta. Come.
Now the former Illinois man, it's Josh Ferguson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On first, again, they go with Ferguson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A second down carry for Ferguson. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Step 180. 380.
Right there. 56.
Oh, you got deep? Shit.
Kill.
Ferguson on third and short. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Set 380. Set 180.
56. Watch the pass.
Hey, Delta.
Hey, turn it up.
Hey, I'm going to go load it.
I got this.
Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Set 390.
56 is the mic. I'm scared.
A first down throw here for Rivers. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
For mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Coming to you. Jack.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Step around 80. 190.
Right there. 56. Watch the run. Switch.
And down he goes throws. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down.
I'm going to run you over.
Wait! Hey, Hunt!
44 is the mic. Strip the ball.
From the gun, Rivers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me,
I know you. You like to mix it up with
like
sports.
That. They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like
a really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. 12 yards there and a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go. Now let's get there.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Go, go, go.
Here's 2nd and 8. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ford. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Ready.
Set, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Ready.
He'll look to throw. He finds his man. It's Austin. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now a carry for Pirine. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Wait, 89.
Rivers now after the fumble recovery. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go, here we go.
Ready, go.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, watch the line.
2nd and 5. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
He'll look to throw. He completes it to Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Come get some. Here, one.
He'll drop to throw. Setting up the screen to Pirine. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. They'll run it here with Pirine. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
50, Clint, 54, Mike, 54. You go night-night. Some go night-night.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 40. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now P-Ryan, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Shamar Stephen with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't met an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Rivers. Going deep for Diggs. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain of 32 that time.
First down.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Check safety, check safety.
You.
Check the motion. Check the call, check the call.
Wait.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Incomplete. Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. They just got that play off. Now Rivers. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's go. We got this. We got this.
They'll throw now on the final play. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check, check. Lucky.
Running again, and again it's Ferguson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
Set. 190.
Spike 56.
Now watch one.
Throwing Rivers. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. This complete to Jones. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Watch QB drop.
Back to throw here. Jones has it. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is Jones. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's to Fulgham, complete. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Ready, ready. 60, orange.
55. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist.
Here's Pirine. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
I got him, I got him.
Second and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this?
Ready, go.
They'll look to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ford. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 46. Now back to throw. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check. Round. And hot.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Secondary 90. Black 15. 56. You run.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rivers. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Rivers now from the 50. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Bandit. 56 the mic. 56 is the mic. Check mic.
To throw is Rivers. And the pressure gets to him again. Josh Bynes in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go, defense.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, Rocket. Crash. White, 89.
From the gun, Rivers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 40-yard line.
Let's go now. To the 90. Wolf.
Second and 11. Looking for Austin, intercepted. picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run with Ferguson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Set, green 80, black 11.
To throw again, Rivers. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Set, ready. 10 Lobo. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
Back to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
It's our time.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He finds Austin complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Detroit Lions, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. 2nd and long. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Switch!
Right back to Ferguson. And an alley to run. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Josh Ferguson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Watch 54. Here we go.
Ready. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Completes it to Austin. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. They'll set up to throw. He finds Pirine out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll get this into the hands of Travis Fulgham. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. but it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Here we go. Alert flare.
The drive will start with Josh Ferguson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
On third down, Rivers. And he's able to find Diggs. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Ferguson. A gain of 3, second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Cut.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Set 180. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
And they will take a knee here.
Rivers on the keeper.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Vikings, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's been a sinking ship all season as they finally draw the curtain on what will be a 1-15 year. And you have to figure that this is a team that will look a whole lot different come training camp next July. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.